Hey, it's Brian Lay back with another article read, and today we have something a little different. This article caught my a little while ago, and I was like, I've long wondered how the excuse me, the Instagram influencers actually make money. I've seen articles complaining about influencers who think they should get free stuff when they go to various resorts and things, and they're quite annoying to the people that work there. Uh, and I've heard about some of them getting, the Instagram model getting kicked off an airplane, stuff like that. But I was like, all right, how in the world do they make money? YouTube income has gone down for a lot of people unless you have millions of subscribers and that like. So how and why do influencers make so much money? The head of an influencer agency explains. Now, this is a little bit of a long article. This is on Vox.com under the goods section. So it's like Xavi Lieber, I guess, is how you say your name. That person's name, Xavi. I shouldn't say. I don't know. It's he or she, but let's find out. Let's try and get through the highlights, as it were. Open Instagram and scroll, and you're likely to go more than a few seconds without seeing someone who follow prompting a brand. Can't go more. I want to be celebrity, or that random girl you went to college with who somehow managed to become famous fashion blogger. According to the influencer management platform Tracker, and speaking of girls who went to college, Jill Bean, Bean. Jill Bean. I don't know whatever happened to her. Not technically not my freshman year. It was cool. It was my first year at UT. The last quarter, she got a co-op with IBM, and I never saw her again. I don't know if she went to school somewhere else. For all I know, she's running some big department at IBM. For all I know, she was smart with her money, and when she turned 50, she retired. So Jill, if you're out there somewhere, give a holler. According to, let's say 72% of major brands say that they are dedicating a sizable portion of their marketing budgets to influencers, people with a strong relationship to an audience who can heavily sway decisions like purchasing habits. See, this is also one of the things that I want to establish something a little different than this. I would actually like to work for a marketing research firm who provides the research for the marketing departments of companies or to marketing firms, and be an indirect, because to me this is sponsorship, this is sellout, if you will. Fashion bloggers and gym instructors, they believe, are the next step in the advertising, again, because people have an emotional connection, a direct connection, because they believe that these people are real. But at what point do they start shilling? At what point do they start pushing products that they don't really believe in or haven't tried? That's the sticky point for me. Whereas I want to be independent enough if I don't like a product, I know it doesn't work for me, I don't like the taste, whatever it is, I should be free to say that. But brands don't tend to like that. That's why it has to be through a third party. The influencer space once consisted of semi-famous bloggers making some extra cash on the side has turned into a bona fide career path. The industry has evolved significantly over the years, whether it was from weathering the storm of the new FTC requirements that influencers must now explicitly say that when they're getting paid, or the rise of the buying fake followers. Yep, it's another one. One person in this crowded and often cutthroat space is Joe Gagliese, one of the co-founders of Viral Nation, an influencer agency that boasts the ability to create the most viral and captivating and ROI focused social media influencer campaigns for global brands. Viral Nation works with some influencers you already know, like PewDiePie, one of the most followed people on YouTube, and plenty of others who you likely haven't heard of. By pairing them with major brands, I really need a pop shield. Stop popping my peas. Okay, so this is an interview. Now, like I said, this is kind of long, so we're going to skim through a lot of this, just kind of get the highlights. How did you start out in the influencer space? Me and my co-founder, Matthew Michelli, went to high school in Toronto and started Viral Nation in 2012. We had previously been running a liquidation business where we'd buy returned items from major retailers and sell them to liquidators, so we had brand connections. I also used to be a hockey player and had a lot of friends who play in the NHL. After 6 years, about 6 years ago, one of our friends was working as an agent for an NHL player, and he let me work on a few endorsement deals for his client. I noticed that big brands like Under Armour were slipping social media requirements into contracts, but hockey players aren't getting anything extra because no one really understood its value. Okay. We spent a week studying platforms like YouTube, Instagram. Oh, only a week. Okay. And Vine, and came up with a business model. That's awesome. Business model, something I've never been able to come up with. We then started working for a few hockey players. So, and we signed a Post Cereal. Cool. Well, in our first year, we signed about $500,000 in endorsement deals, $500,000, and pretty soon we had signed 700 influencers. There are tons of influencer agency out there. What makes the Viral Nation different? The reason we are successful is because we reach out to influencers instead of going brand side. Okay, that's interesting. So basically, you get the influencer to build. I bet you they get the influencer to build. I have not read this, so I'm betting they get them to do something, build the relationship. And whereas the different companies they wanted to work with brands have basically turned into our salesmen today. Our Virals are actually with 10,000 influencers and the biggest influencer agency in space. Who are the clients? So we work with personalities like the gamer Sniper Wolf, whom I've heard of. I knew she was a young woman, but nice butt on a side note. His real name is Leah Wolf. Oh, that's interesting. Lily Singh, who goes on the Alanis Superwoman, I Superwoman, I don't know. Bart Baker, Scotty Sear, okay. Unbox Therapy. The only person I've ever heard of is Sniper Wolf. In terms of brands, because, I'm not in the demographic. Anheuser-Busch, huh? Okay, Spin Master. Okay, so we had quite a few companies. What sort of money does your company make? 1.2 million annually, and last year we grew to 4.5. Yeah, because 1.2 that's not a lot, but yeah, it's only a handful of people. 20 million. Wow. What platforms and influencers paid to make content the most often? It's mostly YouTube and Instagram. Yeah, and they're trying to choke out everybody else, especially YouTube. And not a single influencer has done a campaign with us on Snapchat. Yeah, Snapchat's pretty much. What do influencers charge per post? It depends on the influencer and their follower numbers. And a lot of it, a micro influencer, wow, 10,000 to 50,000 followers is actually pretty valuable. They used to only pick up a couple of $100, but today they get a few $1,000s a post. Wow. 10%, $10,000 per post, depending on the platform, and $1 million and up in the territory where we can charge $100,000. Wow. Or they can charge. Wow. So 250. Whew. So PewDiePie has 14 million subscribers? I don't even know. How much do typical influencers make annually? So Islands can make. I would love to make that. That would be really, really helpful. The micro influencers can make anywhere from 40,000 to 100,000, much more. Why are these people considered so valuable? It's the relationship with the people, I imagine. It's working endorsement from what is just as valuable. You can eagerly engage audiences in their ability to push really big numbers. That's the thing. See, it's to get the people, people, they look at it and say, hey, and then they start buying the stuff. And I remember years ago when it was something it was on about Darrell Waltrip. And when he was being sponsored by Tide and his NASCAR, when he switched to something else, Tide sales actually went down a significant part. I don't remember the exact number. It's not like they lost, tons of money or anything, but it was felt. So I'd imagine the people in social media who engage audiences more directly can be significant. I don't see how you can track this monetarily, though. To me, social media likes and views seem like a fake commodity. We work very carefully to pull data from our campaigns. We look at views. Yeah. See, the thing is, too, if they're giving out a URL, that's most likely going through some sort of, Google analytics or something. So they know, and then they know where people came from. They know if they clicked on a YouTube video, Twitter, or whatever. So I can understand. I worked for a multimedia company for several years as a programmer, and I know how we tracked all kinds of stuff. And in fact, I had to do a lot of coding for, speaking of Tide, for Tide.com as well as Downy. Back when we had the Procter & Gamble contracts to check, I had to basically make it so that they could just come up with numbers anywhere, that I didn't have to have them in the system. If they weren't in the system, they'd just show up, and it was awesome. It was really interesting to see where all the traffic came from. He's an influencer who talks about anxiety and depression, and his engagement rate is something like 30%. Wow, that is awesome. That is incredible amount. I mean, just for comparison, if someone does a radio spot and gets a 3% rate of return, that is huge. So 30% is gargantuan. Have you ever seen some of our campaign done wrong? Every day. Let's use watches, for example, because I see you wearing a Michelle watch. When influencers work with watch brands, every post everyone posts the same photo, which is a shot of them sitting in a cafe or something, looking at their watch on the arm, and the caption somewhere buried is information about the watch. That does absolutely nothing. The whole drive of an influencer that people clicking to buy is to be creative. If you're doing a good job, if you're good at the job, you talk about the watch and engage with the audience by telling them about its pros and cons, when you buy it, and who'd you buy it for. Who'd you buy it for? The reality is that 80% of the content in this industry is bad. See, that's my reviews right there. You quite often tell you, did I buy it, where I bought it? I tell you about it. Now, granted, I'm not doing watches many times. It's supplement reviews, stuff like that. What I thought about it, whether I recommend it or not, because I'm not getting paid to recommend. I still want that independence. I don't want to say, oh yeah, this watch is, or this product's awesome when I think it's crap. It's easy to become an influencer. No, it's like winning the lottery. It's a lot of luck. Yeah, a lot of luck. Think of the guy who became famous for doing the Shiggy dance and helped Drake's song. Okay. We were considering paying to go to the Lakers game as an ambassador for Wish. A few months ago, he didn't exist. I think a lot of people want to like him, but his fame won't happen to most people. Even if it takes hard work, it's a full-time job. Yeah, that's for sure. That's part of it. And you got to, and a lot of it is luck and engagement. And, you can have a zillion followers now and people can get bored of you and they may not unsubscribe or unfollow you, but all of a sudden your influence goes way down, even though the numbers say they shouldn't. It's time to help people become one. Are there any strategies to help are there any strategies to that people, become one, not become one, become an influencer? That's a poorly. Are there any strategies to that help people become one? I think that's supposed to be TOO. We have a great chance of, you have a great chance of being influenced if you're doing something or trending, new or trending. Yeah, something new. That's tough. Unfortunately, though beauty wins, we've seen fashion brands that won't want to work with bigger girls. Landscape's kind of shitty in that way. Yeah, but see, is that the brand's fault or is that the people that follow them? Forget it. I know a woman on YouTube who, Monique Parent is her name. She's a former actress. She did a lot of skin flicks in the day. She's kind of a scream queen, and she just started doing beauty tips. And a lot of it was how she deals with her hair. She went gray as a teenager, and how she colors her hair and wigs and different things. And her channel just exploded, And I bet and she's an influencer in that older crowd. Her older dynamic is about women in their mid 40s and older. But that's because I identify where she's a 52 or 53, I think. She's a few years older than I am. I forget exactly how many. You're more likely to get a lot of things. Yes, kind of sucks. And privilege. What does that mean? What does that mean? Now we're getting some SJW nonsense in here. Lucky and hardworking and persistent and engaging. That's all privilege. This woman doesn't look privileged to me. I don't know her background. And I'm just going by their skin tone because that's many times they think, this is SJW speak for white, or rich. But I think a lot, let's music, a short Jewish brunette journalist and new mom who likes hiking and fashion. How much would it cost to turn me into a profitable influencer? That's a wrong question. Would I need a tummy tuck or a glamorous new wardrobe? I would focus on your personality, not on your life. Yep. So you gotta have engagement. The personality is a big point of that. People related to you. Yep. People have to relate. You could start blogging about your baby or fashion, but I think people will like you more for you. From there, I'd say, wow, whoa. That's how much would help you become an influencer. You'd spend that making content. Okay. So yeah, the negative aspect is it's very hard to turn off. Say something racist, you can count on your career being over instantly. Yeah, and that kind of sucks because people define that so broadly. It's very easy to not believe you're saying a racist comment. And sometimes you talk about it, it's like there's anti-influencers out there who the wrong person accuses you of something. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter. Public opinion will turn on you in a heartbeat. Are approaching wrong. Yeah, they just said that they're doing half of it wrong. Brands are young and have the middle and Gen Z audience. It's reality though, a middle-aged audience is also valuable. Yep. So there's Monique. women in their 40s actually prone to spending the most money. So there you go, Monique Parrott. You've got to. I gotta hook back up with her and see how things are going. I haven't sent her an email in a long time, and that's my fault. It's trust. Do you find that it's harder to trust Facebook, knowing that they've been accused of lying about numbers in the past? No, Facebook's have built up. Again, if you're embedding links in a Facebook post or a YouTube video or anything, and you're using Google Analytics, it doesn't. Facebook doesn't. You don't have to get their numbers from Facebook. You can just get it from your own analytics and know how well it went. Again, this person is not paying attention to the questions, the answers that are being laid out. Have you ever had influencers who buy followers? Never. We look for red flags. If someone's comments are all emojis but no rewards, yeah. Or you see the same thing over and over again, yeah. Since this is your career, and I imagine it takes up, do you feel like this is a fake world? Totally. I feel pretty terrible sometimes, but nothing feels tangible. But see, this is advertising. When you watch a commercial on television and people are going all over about whatever the product is, I don't care if it's, ketchup or if it's, they don't necessarily like the product. They're being paid to act. So how is this any more fake than that? But don't you think it's ironic that the guy who churns through millions between brands and digital salaries limits the very medians he's pushing? Well, I love this business and definitely love. Yeah, but see, if the medium doesn't give you a return, and it's just a waste of money, why do you spend time with it? This interviewer is just not paying attention. What are your thoughts about the next wave of influencers not having being real people like those digital avatars? Now that is a little bit more insidious. I think it's frankly wrong. It doesn't feel right that kids should be watching, interacting with something that doesn't exist. Yeah, but that's coming. I mean, China's already done that with their anchor man, who is an avatar, who's just computer generated, and I don't see any comments. So there we go. So this is a woman, Shavi. I don't know. Let me know how she says her name. But this is pretty interesting, and it's something that I find. I would actually. I don't want to be a direct influencer, but I would really like to get more responses from my supplement videos. I've had several people, several companies send me some products and stuff. We've done unboxings, and I've been very open about how I get that stuff. But maybe I should start putting links in the descriptions of my videos. Say, hey, if you want to buy this, click here and see what becomes of it. So, but an interesting article nonetheless. I didn't, as kind of how I thought it worked. But again, a lot of these influencers built their audience first, and then the money came. It wasn't the other way around. And I don't think you could really be successful with creating an influencer whole cloth from and them just being an actor kind of thing. Just maybe. And okay, I have to check out Sniper Wolf later. All right, so what do you think of this? Do you think this is a good article, great article? Do you think it's bad? You think this is? I think it's just a sign of the times. This is just modern commercials, modern advertising is all it really is. And it's just a different version of it. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for clicking like, and thanks so much for sharing these videos. It's been great growing with you this year, and I'm looking forward to next year. All right. Bye.